Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would first off start by saying that this top is so groovy and I'm in love with it. I actually got it in a large and I've tied it up at the front and I just feel like it looks so much better than I thought it would. I'll leave a link down below. It's from Nasty Gal. They're doing like a line of tie-dye tops so you can get them in all different colours and stuff, and this is like the pastel one. Really cute, love it. So about 2 weeks ago on my Instagram I did a little poll and you guys voted that you wanted to see my favourite apps for editing stories, so I thought I would do that today. I have just a handful of apps that I really like using to edit stories with. I think a lot of us use like the inbuilt story filters, but sometimes you just want to change it up and create something different. So I thought I'd share with you guys the apps I like to create for Instagram stories. I think it's always really fun to create for Instagram stories because it can be a little bit more different. You don't have to stick to like a theme like your feed because it only lasts 24 hours and you can afford to experiment a bit with it. So I'm really excited to show you guys my favourite apps. Okay, so I think I've set up my screen recording thing on my phone, so it should be okay because I want to like screen record like how I edit my apps, so hopefully this will be okay. I'm a bit nervous because I've never done like screen recordings before, but hopefully this will be fine. So the first app I'm going to mention is one that I use when I forget to use an Instagram story filter. Does anyone ever do that? Does anyone ever just forget that you want to use something for stories and you just film it either on your stories directly or on like your phone, like on your actual phone camera, not on the app? I always forget and then I go to upload to Instagram and I'm like, oh, I really wish I took that with the filter. Not only that, but sometimes when you put the Instagram story filters on, I don't know about everyone else, but it really significantly decreases the quality of the photo. So if I want to use the photo then for stories and to keep for myself, I end up with a really low quality blurry photo. So this app is really good for creating that filter, like Instagram story filter look, but on an app. I hope that makes sense, but I'm going to run through it with you. It's an app called Tessa, obviously created by the one and only Tessa, and I've been using this for a while. So the Tessa app is great for adding like filters to your photos. I've actually got a bunch of photos that I took on our last trip out for a walk. They're little flower photos and I decided to take them with my normal camera so that I could edit them on here with you guys. So I'm going to pick this one because it's got like quite a lot of different colours in, so you guys can see the different types of filters that you can use. So all the filters have different names and they all have really different vibes. Like this one, Mood, I think is really cool, and you can also drag the intensity of the filter up. It's really easy to use. I really like that. I think it looks really cute, but I'll show you guys a few more as well. So yeah, there's loads of different filters on here and they all have really different vibes, and I really like that because sometimes you just want to have a different vibe to a photo. And also sometimes with Instagram stories, I don't know about you guys, but I'll put a filter on and then look back on it in retrospect and be like, I wish I didn't rush to find a filter to take that photo. I wish I took more time to take that photo, to get a good photo, and then I can worry about the edit after, just like a normal Instagram feed post. Sometimes I just feel a bit rushed when trying to like swipe across to find the best filter on Instagram stories. So yeah, I think I really like this Mood one best, and I'm gonna put it on like, so as you can see it's quite red, so I'm gonna go for intensity like 20, 26 maybe. Love it. Then you can go and you can like edit like the contrast and stuff. I actually kind of want it moody. And then you can also add grain, so you can go ahead and like pop some grain on there. I think that looks really cool. Not too fussed about anything else. Like you can sharpen it if you want to make a sharper image, but I always feel like that decreases the quality of the photos. One thing I love about this app that I also use in my IG feed when I use the dusty kind of effect, I like to use it and put it on in here. So I edit my Instagram photos, import them into this app, and then I'll put a little bit of dust on if I want it to look a bit more like aged. So they have a variety of like dusts as well. These ones look like more like old film camera dust, which I think actually looks really nice. So you can also have a little look at your image to see where it is in terms of editing. If you just tap on the image, it will convert to what it was like in the first place, like the initial image, and then just let go and it will show you the new edit so you can compare what they look like, which I think is great. I think it's fab for like adding that Instagram story filter effect without actually having to use the Instagram story filters because of like quality and like rushing to get the image. So I really like this one for that. Another great thing about this app is you can copy and paste filters. So for instance, these are all a set of like flower images that I got together, and I want to keep them looking quite cohesive and like a collection. So I can select all the images and paste the edit onto them. So then all of them have the same edit, so you can go on there and change them if you fancy it. So if I click on this one, I can then bring maybe the contrast up because of the flowers and maybe a little bit more saturation, and done. There we go. So then I can copy and paste that onto the ones that have the purple. So yeah, I really like this app for just creating some really fun Instagram story looking images without actually using the story filters. Right, next up is one of my OG favorites. It's called Unfold, and yes, I do have the plus edition. Like, there is a little icon that says plus at the top right hand of my screen, and that is because I pay for the premium edition. Because I run like Instagram as a business, I can afford to do that. If you can't, they do have some really good free options as well, but I'm just going to use it as I personally use it. So if you didn't know, over on my Instagram I do a weekly style fix, so I put all my links up over the course of a week and I save them to a highlight. And I also do a Sunday style fix where I look on different shops and I find out what's new, what I like, what's in, and then I share those with you guys with affiliate links. So I want to keep it all looking very cohesive so that you actually feel like you're actually having a magazine-ish shopping experience as best as I possibly can. So I have actually got a collection of pre-made sort of borders, I think that's what you'd call them. I think you call them borders, like pre-made borders, for my swipe ups to shop. I think this is a really good way of doing it just because it keeps like the look very cohesive. It's very unique to me and what I do, and I think that people can really relate to that. So I've used like a variety of the like effects in this app to create these. So basically you can scroll through and they'll have like different series. This is a new one actually, it's called Mood Board, and I think it looks really cool. Like, it's got like that sort of setup like it's a mood board. Yeah, it looks really cool. I really like the effect. And then you can click the eye icon in the bottom to have a look at what your image is going to look like on stories, which I absolutely love. So you can like preview how the story is going to look. I really like that about this app, that you can like see what your stories are going to look like. You can also add really fun things on here. So they have like stickers, so you can add like pieces of tape and paint smudges and stuff like that to make it look a little bit more like a diary if you're going for that sort of vibe. There's also other stickers. I've used these before, which are like my mouse clicking stickers, which I think are quite fun. The arrows are great as well, so you can pop those in there. There's also like little stamps if you're doing traveling. There's like different countries on the stamps, and there's also these little fun icons as well, which are like alphabetic, which I think is super cute. I forgot to add, you can also add gifs as well, but I don't really use those personally. So yeah, I personally use this for like more like my affiliate shopping links and stuff like that, but they have some really good fun ones like for collages as well. Like, you can add a little short description, which I think is really fun. Like on this one, you can add like a little short description, which I think is a really nice little touch. Like, a lot of them do have, they also have this one, which is like the stay home ones. My personal favorites are digital wave and ripped paper. I use ripped paper a lot just because I feel like it gives it that crafty look, which I really like. Classico is also really good. You can create some really fun stuff with this. So you can create little collages and stuff like that. It can be really fun. I would say this does take a little bit of time to get used to, as in like thinking creatively about it and like getting a bit more artsy about things in terms of how you're putting stuff together. You can't just like import loads of different images in and suddenly it looks amazing. When I first started doing that, I tried to do that, and I tried to add like really fun backgrounds to all my photos, and it all just sort of clashed and looked a bit strange. So I would say you do need to play around with it a little bit. One thing I really like as well is the film frames. So they have some really good film frames like this one, which is super fun. You can highlight like all the photos that you want to be in the photo frame and then hit the I button, and you can then see what they look like. So yeah, I really like that one for all the fun frames and borders and stuff like that. I think you can create some really fun things. And if you're looking for a little bit of consistency in terms of like a certain aspect of your Instagram stories, this is a really good one to add that consistency to. All of the borders on this app work really nicely together. I think that they slot in really nicely. They've all got very similar design to them, so you can really mix and match with them. And yeah, I have used this app for a very long time and I love it. Next up, I have the film app, and this has got to be one of my faves for creating video. So what should I go for? What should I go for? What should I go for? I can go for this one. This is a video I filmed of my coffee last week and I put it on Instagram stories. It already has a filter on. Oh, I wanted to do this with one without a filter, but I don't think I have any videos without a filter on. This one doesn't have a filter on. Right, okay, so I took a video of some flowers when we were out. It's just like a zoom video of some flowers. So I thought this would be quite fun. It doesn't have a filter on. Past me was actually prepared for once. I think I remembered I was going to film this and I was like, I've got to film something fun that hasn't got a filter on. So well done, Past Me, you did it. Right, so what I like about this app is that you can put filters on video, and these filters are meant to be for video. They're not filters that you have, you know, are for photos that you're putting on video and kind of like affect the quality. So they're made to be used on film, which I really, really like. So there's a variety of filters, and then you can swipe and change the intensity of the filters as well, which I really, really like. So one thing that really confused me when I first started using this app is the circle and the diamond shape. So basically the diamond shape is like light filters, so like glimmers of light and dust and stuff, like effects, and then the circle is like actual filters. So if we go by just circle, it will show us just the filters. So I actually have the premium on this as well, so these are all the filters you could possibly get on the app. Oh, they've got new ones. I haven't even downloaded these, so I think I will go for maybe dust. I think dust will be quite nice. I want it to look a bit more like whimsical. Right, okay, I like this one. Kind of like brings the shadows down a bit. So I'm gonna go for that one. And then I'm going to go to effects, and then I could choose like dust, like another effect from dust. I think that's quite cool. So it's like more like a vintage effect. Or one of the effects I really like is star. I'm not going to leave this filter on this video because it won't, I don't think it's going to work. But I did use this filter a lot in winter because it has that kind of cool Christmassy type effect. As you can see, there's like little stars and you can layer them. But yeah, I really, really like those effects, but I'm not going to put them on here because I just don't think that they're going to work. This one's also really cool, like light shimmers. But I think I will just go for something quite plain. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will stick to dust. I think this looks really cute. So I'm going to go with that and add a little bit of dust to the image. So it's just going to process. Amazing, fab. So one thing you can also do with this app is add another clip, so you can like put multiple clips in and they can all have different effects to them if you fancy it. And then I'm pretty sure you can add transitions like between them as well, but I don't really use that as much because I mostly do it just for like one clip stories. So there's also this little like frame like icon at the bottom left of the photo. It took me ages to work out what all of these symbols were because it's not like, it doesn't say, but if you click on that you can also get like watermarks and frames and stuff, which I had no idea you could do until I just had like a moment to like play around with them and stuff, because it doesn't really tell you in the app what these things are. Really, really like it. This camcorder one is so fun. I love it. How fun is that? So that's really, really cool. Love it. You can also add like the timestamp. If you can see, there's a timestamp at the top and then a date as well in the bottom. So you can add those on, and that's just really fun and really different. So I really, really like that. You can also adjust the lighting, contrast and all of that using the little icons as well. So you can bring like the brightness up if you like, or like whatever. So I really like that. So you can edit those like an image, which I think is really, really handy. So you can edit like the highlights and the shadows. So I love that about this. You can also add music as well. So there's like non-copyrighted music on here that you can add to your videos, which I think is also really, really great if you're looking to add some music to your videos that is not copyrighted and you don't have to go and find it. You could just use the music on this app. So I thought I would share with you guys another one that I really enjoy for designing like a text, banners and stuff. I've only just found this one. I really, really like it. This one's called a design kit, and you can basically choose backgrounds and stuff. You can add your own images and stuff as well, but you can add like backgrounds. So for example, let's go for something kind of neutral. Let's go for this. And you can also choose like if you want it to be a story, if you want it to be like just as big as you want it to be or whatever, you can do that. You can change like the direction. So if you want it to be on its side, you can choose the dimensions of that on here, which I love. So we've got this like speckled background, which is really cute. And I'm going to add some text. This is where it gets a little bit fiddly and you have to have a play around with like which texts you like and where they are, because trying to find a text is quite hard. Right, okay, I might go for like vibe outline, because I really, really like this one. So sometimes I do this for when I've got like new stuff coming up, so I'll put like new. And then I can make it like bigger. You can add spacing between the letters as well, so I think that's quite nice. And then you can add spacing between the words, so you can like space them out more. So I'm going to put that in the middle. You can also like resize with your fingers as well. You don't have to just use the size icon. Sorry for the noise, our desk is broken, so Alex is fixing it, so that's the sound in the background. But yeah, you can then go in and you can choose the different fonts, and yeah, you can just go through them all and choose which font works for you. This one's really cool. I think the retro ones are really cool. Like, I think that looks great. So I use this a lot to create like backgrounds for stuff and little like graphics, I think you would call them. Yeah, graphics. You can also add little stickers, which I think are really cute, so you can like add different things into it, dependent on like the vibe that you're going for, which I think is fab. Sometimes this is a bit of a confusing app because I forget like what goes where. So basically, brushes is where you can like paint on the image. Text is where you add the text, obviously. Design is where you can add like pre-made images. So for instance, you can add some dots and you can like rearrange them. You can also change the color, and then so that's all in design. And then if you go into stickers, there's also stickers, which is more like cartoony stuff, which is, you know, cool. I don't think I've ever used them, but they look nice, cool. And then collage, which has the more like cutout style things. So you can get like a gold star, let's choose this one, and then pop it like up there. Yeah, that's sort of how it works. I keep getting lost in all of the little tabs because they all sound like they could be in any of them, but it's worth having a play around with. You can create some really nice graphics and stuff. You can really create some fun things in this app. Lastly, I'm going to talk about a few apps that I like for like borders and then like collaging photos together, because I have two really strong apps that I like to do that with. The first is Story Lux. Again, I have the premium edition to this, but you don't need it. You can use the free edition as well. So let's start a new project. So I am going to have a look and see which borders kind of stick out to me. So there's different categories. So there's like the hot category, which is like, so there's like the hot category with a little fire, which is like things that other people are enjoying or like what's new on the app. And then there's other ones. So there's like film has like 8 different categories. So you got like film 1, film 2, film 3, film 4, you get it. You need to just have a good look in these, especially if you've got the premium edition. You've got like everything in here. Even if you don't have the premium edition, I had the standard edition for a very long time until I spotted some of the filters that I really, really liked in the premium edition. I was like, oh, screw it, I'll treat myself to some new borders and stuff. Let's have a look. So all of these have like different film effects to them. The film effects on this app are definitely my favorite film effects that I found, and they're my favorite on the apps. I don't use a lot of the other borders and stuff. I just like the film ones mostly. So let's have a look. What do I use? What do I use often? So I can go for this one, for example. They also have it in white, but I'm just gonna go with this one, and I'm gonna add these selfie pictures of me. I forgot in this app you can't like bulk do them, you have to do them each individually, so I'm just gonna do that. So I've got all those photos in there and I really like the way it looks. You can also click the top left where it has like the size of everything, so you can cut it down to a 4:5 ratio or a 9:16 ratio. 9:16 is for Instagram stories and 4:5 is for normal Instagram, so if you want to put it on normal Instagram you could. One thing I would say about this app that not a lot of people know is that you can change the branding on the retro film, which I think is so fab. So you just click down here where it says SL branding, and then where it says like Story Lux, you can see on the border it says Story Lux. You can click on that and type in anything you want. So I can put in like my username. So I'm just gonna put in the Kitty Lux, which is like my branding, right? And it's on the film border. Amazing. And then there's also like a random number, so you can put something in there. I mean, I'll put in I love cats because it's also true. And it's on there. I just think it's so great that they have that option. They also have some down at the bottoms, as you can see, like me scrolling through them. These are all pre-mades. So you can click on the pre-mades and also have those in there. So You Glow Girl, you can pop that in there and it will just fill that in for you. Happiness is Homemade, love it. Live More, Worry Less, love it. So all of these are on there that you can just click on and use, or you can create your own. Last but not least is InShot. I use InShot for a lot of things, but one of those things is a question that I get asked all the time, which is how I stitch together 4:5 ratio images or 9:16 ratio images. So basically, if you use the Instagram version of this, I think it's called Layout, it only does the 1x1 squares. So this gives you more options to choose like the actual size of your photos. Right, so let's try and make the same image. So that little selfie image I think is very cute. So put these in there. One thing I would say about this is great is that once you put your images in, you can swap them around. So I can swap that with that and see what it looks like in like a different position. So you can swap them around, which I think is great. And you can also crop. So I could like crop this image down if I wanted to, and then if I was just like, okay, maybe not, I can bring it back, which I think is great because sometimes you look at the photo and you're like, I wish they cropped this differently. So you can do that all in the actual, so you can do this all in the actual collage, which I think is great. So this is currently in a 1x1 ratio, which is the square. And I'm like, okay, I want to post this on my IG stories. So I'm going to hit canvas and then I'm going to hit 9:16, which is the ratio for stories, and it will adjust it so it's a story size, which I absolutely love. I think that's great. You can also hit layout and this will change the layout of the images, so you can move things around, create different looks to your images, which I think is really fun. But I'm going to stick to just the square crisscross 4 photos type ratio thing. You can also add borders. So here you've got like the inside borders, so you can add a little inside border, you can add a little outside border, you can really change it up. So you can have big inside borders, you can have big outside borders, you can have neither, and then you can have rounded edges as well. So you can have a good play around with these and create different things. I personally like it on its own, but I'm a bit of like a minimalist in that sense. I kind of just like it in those boxes, so that's cool. You can also adjust the photos and add filters in this app, but I don't use those personally. I prefer the other apps that I just told you for that. If you want to add some like story looking filters, I prefer the other apps for that. So yeah, I hope you guys found that helpful. It was really fun to share some of my fave editing apps for IG stories on here. I hope that kind of helps you guys to get creative and play around with some of these apps. Let me know in the comment section down below if you've tried any of the apps, or if you have any other apps that you would suggest that I try out, because I'd be really excited to try those out. I really enjoyed filming this for you guys. I think it's really fun to help everyone get inspired and get creative, and share with you guys the apps that I use pretty much every day. Let me know if you want to see me do a similar thing for my IG feed posts in the comment section, or drop me a DM and I'll see what I can do and try and get around to filming that one as well. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!